So here I go. Um, can you give me screen share, Priya? Already given? Okay, great. Thank you. So I'm not too sure if everybody is following the science of email marketing. And if you are, you're in a good space. And if you're not, you need to know that as technology is sort of taking over very fast, and we want to stop doing things twice over, stop repeating things. So here is my presentation on email marketing for Mammoth Growth, and I'm going to take you through this step by step. And if you've got your pen and paper, you can sort of note down the points as we go along. So I call it email reproductive system. So I don't know how many people give any importance to their data. It is your gold. It is your treasure trove that you have. And you must understand the importance of your data. Your data is a living entity. It breathes, it talks to you, it talks to people, it talks to everybody. But it only talks when you're looking at it, when you make it go live. It's the biggest treasure for your business and yourself, and it works for you while you sleep. The definition of networking, as Paritosh says, your net should work for you when you're asleep, and that's what the database does for you. So there are few things that you need to know: how to nurture your database, how to give it more lung power. If you're consistent with it, it'll work for you. Random approach towards data will not work for you. It needs to be nurtured, increased, sorted. It's a little seed that you plant, and you grow it into a beautiful tree that gives you fruit. Every email, every phone number, you have to religiously add to your database. And if you're not doing it, and you're not looking at the demographics and psychographics of your data, you're not going to be able to nurture it very well. You will not have the right kind of fruit growing on it for you. So, how to use it? When you start to build it, it starts to work. Whether it's to do with 10 addresses or 10, uh, you know, 10 email addresses, it'll work for you. Whether you've got 10 lakhs or 10, it doesn't matter. So it improves lives. What happens is that you can render your thought process to your audience through your data. And when you start sending out your value letters, you start to put all your thought processes across your network, and it starts to work for them. So you improve lives. How you improve lives is because you're in a you're in a profession, or you're into a business where you're going further. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to share your knowledge with your network. And as they listen to you, they start to imbibe your values into their systems. And that's how you improve lives. So I'm a follower of Chanakya, and Chanakya said that once you go beyond the level of survival and you come into the realm of business or profession, your dharma is to start working towards making this place a better world. So that's what it does. Your data helps you with your seamless workflows. That's how the data has to be used. And if you're careful and you're mindful, you'd be able to use that database to grow your business exponentially. I'll show you some numbers that will be jaw dropping as we go along. So your data can consist of the people you're spending time with. So do you know where you're spending time? Do they know what you do for a living? Your clients, your employees, your vendors, bankers, consultants, your neighbors, coaches, trainers, friends, cousins, families, children, society, building, RWA. Do they all know you? If they don't know you, then they ought to know you, because this is your ecosystem. and your ecosystem needs to work like a web, and they all need to know what you do, and or what your value systems are, or what you deliver, or what you are capable of delivering. And that's the database that you could work upon. So I want you to read this. It says, when summer school teachers made daily phone calls and sent text or written messages home, the sixth graders completed 42% more homework, and class participation rose by nearly half. That's what we do in Manzil as well. We call people and we tell them to be here, and then they arrive here in the morning and they do their meetings. So there's call to action. And remember this number 42. 42 is a number which is going to give you another perspective. So it says, so in America, studies suggest that only 7% of employees fully understand their company's business strategies and what's expected of them in order to achieve their common goals. Do your people in your company know about your goals, your common goals, your unified goals, your company goals? Do they know where they're heading to? And if you're not being able to communicate with them, then how do you expect them to align with your business? So you need to have the data working for you for your value systems. How do you manage your data? You manage your data either in an Excel, or you can manage it in different other forms as well. So I've given you some example. For example, you have like how I manage it. I divide them into three categories. I am for you, I am with you, and do it yourself. So, for example, if I've got Bill Gates and I've got his data here, who is he? I'm tagging him, and I am for you. I will travel with him. I will do everything for him because he's my best client. I am with you. I'll help you out. I'm accessible to you, and that is where Deepak Dalal comes in. And I've got his. He's a writer and he needs my help, but I'm one to one with him. And then do it yourself, where I have broken down, unbundled my products, and I have given the components in my offerings to my clients, and I'm saying, do it yourself. You don't want to spend so much money, buy only a few components of my product and build it yourself. And if you want me to do it for you, then I'm here in A. Or if you need my help, then I'm with you. So that's how I look at it. And then I tag my data. That way you can choose to do it how your product works. There is no set pattern for it. There are many patterns available, which I can talk about a little later when we have time or in another class. So you can manage your data in a good CRM or in MailChimp or GetResponse or in Excel. It's completely up to you. What, how much resource you have to manage your data? I have a person here in my company and she's dedicated to data management, and that's how important it is. Today, Google is where it is, Facebook is where it is because of data, because they know that the customers are going to be, today, my customer is at 25 years of age, and 5 years down the line, is going to be 30, then it's going to be 35, so he's going to have a family. And so today, because of online, do not look at one-off customers. Look at the full cycle customers, where you need to have a life cycle of a customer with you. If you have a life cycle of your customer with you, your growth will be fantastic. Your profitability will go really high. And that is the fun part of email marketing, that it gets you that sort of uh, power. So how to manage it? Now, tagging is the key thing in your data, because like I said, that how are you tagging your people? Are you tagging them by the category, by the conditioning, demographics, psychographics? There are a whole lot of ways to do it. And it depends how many tags you want. Um, it's a science in itself. Tagging is the key to your data management. You start to send wrong products to wrong people, they will take you off their list, take you off their list, and then you have nowhere to go. You lost a good client forever. correct? So you need to be very careful how you're tagging your clients. If you're not tagging your clients, you can't you can't drive the entire herd with the same stick. You need to draw distinctions. So that's very important. Now, the importance of value letters. So when I'm saying email marketing, I'm not talking about selling products. I'm talking about making yourself visible. There are three stages in this entire pattern of sales. Number one is visibility. Are you visible, or is your product visible? Now, if you are visible, your product will have more value, more acceptance by a client, because they know who's the man behind it. They know your value system. They know your integrity, your honesty, your deliverables, everything, because they know about you. And then your value letters will work, your product will work. And the third thing is your sales engine ready? If your sales engine is not ready, all this is going to go down the drain. It won't work for you. So here is when I said 1 is to 42. All statistics show that your highest ROI is through email marketing. Whatever that you do in terms of Facebook ads, Google ads, websites, lots. They've tried everything. We've come to a stage. The latest figures still reflect 1 is to 42 return of investment on value letters as you go along. There is no shortcut. There is no immediate return on it. When you start to calculate it over a period of 2 to 5 years, you'd see your return is 42 times your every dollar that you spent. So that is really the powerful space that you can be in. No other platform in digital marketing gives you this return. It can give you short term returns, but there is no longevity to it. Like I said, if you want a life cycle of your customer, this is the way to go. If you want one off, there are many other ways to go. So it's completely your choice what sort of product you have. And for example, if it's a doctor, if it's Dr. Sumit here, he needs to see the life cycle, right? If you're in a place where you're selling a product which is low ticket, it's okay to do one off. But if it's a high ticket product, it needs to have a life cycle customer with you. So that's important. You got to keep that in mind. I don't know if you know this rule 5, 11, 16, 21. Can anybody tell me how many people know about this rule? Can you just quickly put it in chat, or do something about it if you know about this 5, 11, 16, 21? Well, let me tell you. 5 means 5 touch points. At the fifth touch point, the science says that you start to make some impact on your reader. On the 11th touch point, he starts to notice you. On the 16th one, he's now thinking about your product or about you or about engaging with you. On the 21st, he's talking to you, right? This is how it works through value letters. But I'll tell you, it's once the machine starts to work, sometimes you may have to wait up to 80 touch points or 100 touch points. There's a friend of mine, I've been on his mailing list forever. He started in July and he sends one every day. And I never opened his emails. And the other day, I was going to empty out the trash in my inbox, and I read his email, and it was completely up my alley. That's what I wanted to hear. Now I follow him regularly. It took him 99 times to get me into his net. 99 emails. So the 100th email is what I read, and now I'm a complete fan of his. I drew up a little story and then I sent it to you. So it depends how you want to carve out your story, how you want to. There's a full science in it. I'm doing a session tomorrow on storytelling, and you're most welcome to join that. I'm not going to go through this diagram because it's long drawn. I don't have so much time. At some other stage, I'll explain this to you how it works. So how to construct a value letter? What's the core reason of the value letter and for whom. So if you've identified the core reason, for example, if I'm running a tour company is my core reason, right? And then in that, it's bird watching. So select the audience you wish to target. What's the product of your core reason? So my core reason is Asian adventures, and the product is bird watching, and that's what I want to talk about. So I need to carve my entire communication around that. Select the audience you wish to target. What is the product of your core reason? Ensure they are available physically around you on this planet. It has to be authentic data. If somebody is telling you, buy my data, tell him to leave right there and then and show him the door. Do not buy data just because somebody is trying to sell it to you. There's no problem. You can always get your own data. Uh, there are people like Atul who will help you in no time to secure that data. Your data, not stolen or collected data from people who sell. Don't make that mistake. Don't burn your money and your reputation. Ask yourself if they will respond to your call to action or if your communication is compelling enough to make them do it, to contact you. And they will contact you. There is no way, if you're a master of your product, they will contact you, whatever language you use. So each of these points will have to have some communication with it. You can, these are the things that 175 to 350 people say. For me, it works 200, but it completely depends what your story is. And there's a lot of trying and testing involved in it, but it's a lot of fun. So every time you go a step further because you get some result, some return on it. Tools to use: MailChimp, GetResponse, Constant Contact. This is only 20% of the job. 80% is your database and your communication. This is no big deal. This is a no-brainer. So if you've got your data and if you've got your product or your value systems ready, this will just work automatically. I'm not even getting into that because it's technology. It can just be imprinted anywhere. If you want to learn more, you can take a screenshot or I can put it in chat later and we can talk about it later. Um, I'm doing a class on storytelling tomorrow, and it's free. If people want to join in, you can just WhatsApp me on this number and I'll bring you in. It'll be a lot of fun. I'll give you step-by-step mechanism of how to carve out your stories. Thank you, friends. That was my little presentation to tell you the importance of value emails, and I hope it was meaningful for you.